Hi, everyone. Peter Dennis here. Welcome to this series of interviews with individuals who are channelers. Today, my guest is Audra Franta, who is a channeler. Audra, welcome.
Thank you, Peter. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Audra, I think our audience would like to know a little about you. So can you just give us a little background, kind of where you grew up and things you were interested in as a kid and all that sort of thing?
Sure. Had a very normal childhood. Grew up in Michigan and went to Central Michigan University and got a degree in I got a marketing degree and went into sales and events, and eventually my life took me into pharmaceuticals. I've been in pharmaceuticals for about 19 years in different capacities, but mostly in sales. And, my life kind of turned upside down in my early 30s with experiencing some serious events, creating a need to have surgeries in my life. And I had some serious dark moments in my life. At that same time, I felt like I was hearing things, and I couldn't sleep at night. So because I couldn't sleep at night, I was taking medicine to make myself sleep at night so I could function at work. And I really started to delve into what I was sensing and feeling as I started to understand and really connect with the spiritual world. I really had a connection with the spiritual world really all of my life, but not until I was experiencing such darkness did I really desire a true connection with God and a sincere and deep need for help in my life. I was really in a dark place. At that point, I was seeking psychics and mediums and all kinds of things to help me. And oftentimes they would tell me that I'm psychic, that I have these abilities and I have these powers. And, I really didn't know where to go. And I kept searching and searching for about a decade. And it wasn't until about 5 years ago that I started to connect with archangels. And really mostly telepathically I would receive messages and just journal. And I would receive these beautiful messages, and I knew they weren't coming from me because the words and the messages just didn't sound like me. And so I knew that there was a higher power and a higher presence giving me guidance on how to really function in this life, not just function, but thrive. And really, once I started to do that, I saw others suffering and I wanted to help them. I feel like being in the pharmaceutical world, a lot of times it's frowned upon or looked upon as, big bad pharma. And oftentimes I find the importance of having medicine in one's life to actually help them function, and then also eventually get to thriving. So I find that there is a definite need for helping people get medicine that they need. But I also, now that I channel, and I've been channeling and connecting with guides and angels and my higher self, that medicine does help us get to a point. And then we really need to start focusing on how we can help ourselves and really connect with our spiritual self, so that there's really an understanding of we are energy and there is a mind-body connection. And channeling and receiving information every day just opens my heart and lifts my soul, but it also provides me confidence and joy, knowing that I am constantly getting assistance from somewhere else, and all I need to do is ask. So I think that's why I'm here today, wanting to connect and provide messages so that I can help others.
Mm-hmm. you kind of anticipated my second question, which was how
Sorry.
has channeling impacted your life? And I, as you were speaking too, I happen to know that you have an MBA, and so do I. And this is unusual that two MBAs are sitting here talking about, spirituality and channeling and things like that. It's not very common.
It's not. It's
Yeah.
not.
How else, if there are any other ways, has channeling affected your life?
In other ways, it's affected my life. I think it's just really opened my eyes to what else is out there in the world. And it's, to look and view other people in other situations. And channeling has provided me messages and understanding of events, right? Of COVID, of wars, of dark things that happen to good people. And it really gives me a sense of understanding and more of a sense of comfort to know that everything has its purpose and everything is going to work itself out.
Yeah, certainly my experience with other channelers, as well as yourself, the messages are all uplifting, they're positive, they're about healing, empowerment, all really good stuff. And often we get kind of the bigger picture or the background of things that, immediately look like they're very dark and injurious and everything, but often there is a much bigger picture, and it's usually pretty encouraging.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Audra, I know you channel different beings. The palladians seem to be prime. Do you get any sense right now of are they hovering around or waiting to come in? What sense?
As a matter of fact, I think you cued them in or something, but yeah, I would say about 30 seconds ago, I have goosebumps. So usually when I get cold, the high vibrational beings, that's how I get to know when they're here. Sometimes I sense them in my head, or the pressure gets a little bit different in the energy, but I could feel them, just their presence coming in just by the room temperature changing.
Good, good. Well, would you be ready to bring them in so that they can have a conversation with me?
I'd be delighted to.
Good. Okay.
Right. So I'll just close my eyes and relax for a moment and do some breathing, and I'll bring them in and we'll see what they have to say. We are pleased to meet your acquaintance.
Now, would this be the Palladians?
We are the Arcturians today.
Okay, well, welcome. Welcome. Audra was saying that she felt your presence in that she was getting goosebumps. And I guess that was just a function of your energy, was it?
Precisely.
Mm-hmm.
This is the case. Our energy functions in a higher vibration, which allows the transpondence of energy to be processed by this human's functionality, which induces what she may say goosebumps.
Mm. Now, you Arcturians have a reputation among some of us humans as being excellent healers. Is that pretty much the case? And would that be a good part of your mission in channeling through Audra?
That is correct. There are certain functionalities through this channel which we will participate. Healing as a part of that function in duality or in dual nature of communication and providing general feedback of the cosmos, world events, current events that have to do with humans partaking in such events in matters of war, warfare, and certain timelines that perhaps may be adjusted when the focus is in part focused on relationships, communication, and matters of fact, channeling groups of beings to partake in enlightenment of the human race.
Mm-hmm. Now, Audra is a healer, and when she's doing her healing, are you lending a hand in some way?
We partake in certain functionality precisely if asked or called upon
Mm-hmm.
in various matters. Not always are we a function in the process of healing in all cases.
Mm-hmm. Now, there are many healers on the planet. If they were to ask you for assistance, would they likely get it?
Of course, humans who participate in active communication with palladians, Arcturians, spiritual beings, forces, and avatars are always commence a level of activity and assistance in receiving healing of any nature.
Mm-hmm. So, if as a Reiki practitioner, and I'm somewhat qualified in that, if I were to ask for your assistance, would that enhance the Reiki ability that I have?
Perhaps. There are several activities you may participate in choosing to elect our various healing modalities. We would be pleased to assist you in partaking of healing of any nature, whether it be pet or human or circumstance in which we may be able to participate and help in a situation where you call upon for assistance.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's very encouraging. And I don't practice healing commercially at all, but I'm sure there's going to be a number of healers watching this video. And I think it'll be very encouraging to them to know that while they're dealing with their clients, they might ask internally for some Arcturian help. And I'm sure they'd be pleased.
It is encouraged, by no means frowned upon, to ask for assistance when it comes to a healing nature in any course or activity. It would make sense to ask for assistance simply because we have healing abilities and modalities that humans may not know or participate, and simply asking for assistance, being used as a channel in any way, shape, or form to deliver and provide peace, kindness, healing is a modality that all humans can partake if they wish.
Mm-hmm. Well, very encouraging, and thank you for that. At this time in our world, there is much to heal. And maybe there always has been. Would you have a message for humans in general regarding what they might do in some of these trying circumstances to just keep their health, I guess, optimally, and heal things that are, the stresses and maybe the ways those manifest actually. Um, just any advice generally for people and how they might heal themselves.
Yes, Peter, we wish to share with the world that relax and enjoy the view. There are so many opportunities to bring about peace and high vibrational energy by reducing stress and relaxing in the form or activity of which brings you joy and peace. Those are also considered healing modalities when you choose to elect upon something that you enjoy taking and looking upon, experiencing, reflecting, reading a book. What draws your energy into a reflective manner that brings peace and joy. These modalities are healing of itself when we begin to just relax and know for certain that life was made to be joyful, that life was made to relax and enjoy. So trying not to worry, trying to be peaceful and trying to relax and flow, and knowing that this universe was created to explore and enjoy love. And many of those concepts are not as fluent or fluid as we wish them to be. This partaking in the activities of focusing on love and peace and joy are part of what this channel intends to share with the world. These are also modalities of healing. You may consider Reiki as a healing modality, which does in part heal. However, as we reflect upon just simple activities of enjoyment, also can bring about healing, relaxing, getting more sleep, drinking more water, bringing in more foods that have been generated by light. These activities also produce a manner of healing.
Now, a good bit of what you said would easily apply to maybe Audra and myself and a lot of us in Western society. For people who find themselves in a war zone, such as Ukrainians right now, their big issue is survival, I suspect, maybe defense or whatever, but they don't find it as easy or convenient to take time out and rest and, walk in nature and things like that. Any tips or suggestions for people who are really under fire like this?
The concept here is knowing the truth of these activities, these experiences, which we call life. There are wars and violence, and there will continue to be so in a world with prejudices, judge and juries, where there's little influence of insight there is manipulation and tactics and strategies drawn upon harming of others. And we wish to convey, we understand those situations are dire and can be viewed as harmful. Also know that this is a reflection of society as a whole in a mindset of struggle, of monetary violence. We seek to impart knowledge for those experiencing challenges in one's life, to share and seek upon the goodness of the world, despite their outer experiences. Therefore, looking in within one's soul, seeking higher guidance and a higher truth to the circumstances at hand, knowing that all circumstances and experiences are planned. They are part of a greater plan and a process. Each soul is destined to determine one's own ability in finding the strength within one's own self. These experiences draw others closer and nearer to each other. These experiences impact other countries and cause people to reflect and ownership of kindness, of relevance. This kindness imparts the activity of sharing, of connecting, opens one's souls, spirits, and hearts. And these activities transpire and transmit the activity of one's soul through experiences, such experiences as in war with Ukraine. We seek to impart knowledge of those experiencing tragedies in all experiences of life, that we all, you all as humans, ought to know by now that through experiences, great or small, one learns about oneself and each other. And this is the learning of the capacity of the heart of the human race.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, still not easy for the person who's dodging bullets. But I think I get what you're saying, that as much as we can, if we can shift our attention to things like compassion, kindness, helping each other, those kinds of things, that will build. It'll attract other like-minded people and start to shift things more to the light. I'm probably missing a fair bit here, but I think I get it. But not easy for everyone, and some people may, never get there, really.
The struggle is in the search for enlightenment and for truth. It is the experience and the journey that we have chosen to embark upon in this planet. This is part of one's life. The experiences one chooses as one is here will embark upon many challenges. Some, yes, bullets. Some, yes, a tank. Some, yes, hunger and starvation. These, again, are situations one must encounter to learn about one's abilities, strength within, and also connecting with one's own abilities, along with opening of hearts.
Yes. Yes, from the higher perspective, we see the plan, we see the use of experience from the 3D down on the ground everyday human. We don't see that perspective as much, but I understand what you're saying, and thank you very much for that. That's very helpful. I have an eye on the clock here, and I'd like to wrap this up shortly, but I'm wondering if, in addition to all that you've said so far, is there any sort of final message that you might have for the audience today?
We know there are challenges one encounters. We don't promise it will always be easy. We do ask that you impart this knowledge that we have shared upon the viewers, internal recollection, understanding, and viewing of one's heart in a perspective where one's soul encapsulates all other souls. We are all therefore connected. And this is like a means to an end. When we, in recognition of knowing one's self, we know the whole. And that is what we wish to impart upon you all today.
Well, thank you very much for that. I'm sure Audra will agree that these messages are very important, and we'll get them out as well as we can. Thank you very much, and much love to you. Audra, you just come on back when you can.
All right.
That was pretty heavy, and I think we'll have to listen to this a couple more times, but yeah, something useful to grab onto, I think, in these times, and we have to do that. How do you feel after doing this?
Yeah, I'd like to watch this again. Well, not again, but I like to watch this because I felt like there was a lot of good information, but for me to like really internalize it, you know, I think I got the gist of it, but it seems to, obviously most what I got resonates. And again, this is why I love doing this, because there's just a greater perspective, you know, and I think it really helps people to hold on to that. There's a bigger perspective. There's a lot more to this than just our little lives, but we're all woven together and we make a big impact. And there's my dog.
Yeah. Well, it occurred to me that a role that you and I have, I think, is we hear these messages and they are from a higher perspective. And sometimes I think we can find ways to impart the same message, but in a down-to-earth, practical way that individuals can grab onto something, you know, make it a little more pragmatic. Anyway, I'm working on that. Audra, we have to wrap this up, but if people want to get in touch with you, I know you do private counseling, and you've got a workshop coming up in the summer, and you're up for events from time to time. I know you're going to be on my Sunday channeling at some point. If people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Well, I do have a website, awakenenergycenter.com, and that is where people can really get an idea of everything that I do. I am hosting a women's wellness workshop called The Gist of Joy in Atlanta, or right outside of Atlanta in the Blue Ridge Mountains, for about 3 days. It's going to be wonderful. But if anyone wants to email me, my email address is Audra, AUDRA, at awakenenergycenter.com.
Good. Well, thank you for that. And thank you very much for being here today and bringing your Arcturian friends. And I'll be seeing you around, I know.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen who are watching, thank you for tuning in. We'll be doing this some more with other channelers, and Audra will be with me, I'm sure, on one of the Sunday broadcasts that we have on the first and third Sunday of every month. We have a guest channeler, a different one each time. I'm not sure when Audra is scheduled, probably more the summer.
June. Yeah, I think in June.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay. Well, good. Thanks, everybody. Bye for now.